Well, Roger and I really didn't expect to open a PR firm. We had met during the Florida Public Relations Association, and way back then, the chapter was called the Orange Blossom Chapter. This is in the 70s. And then what we did is, as we each progressed in our career, ultimately, I was the director of PR for Martin Marietta, and he was the director of PR for Westinghouse Corporation there in Orlando. And when we tried to hire agencies for us to support us at our jobs, we couldn't find any agency in Orlando that had the C-suite experience. We were just sort of embarrassed when we met these agencies, and because of their level of expertise. And so we looked at each other, and this is after we both been at each business at least 5 years or longer. And I said to Roger, I think there's a void missing here in Orlando for an opportunity to grow our own PR business. And he looked at me and said, I think you're right. And the next thing I remember after that conversation is the two of us are hanging up the Curley Pynn Public Relations management sign in front of our new office. So it went fast, but it was a great decision. And I think we did successfully fill that niche. Well, running a business is when you're brand new and it's the first company you made, you have a lot of learning experiences. And one of the things I learned right off the bat is don't worry about who takes the trash out every night. You just can't be all things to all people. The other thing is every time that you do something that is non-PR related, and I say even billing and doing the books and balancing the budget, every time you do that, you take away an hour away from your billable time. Now you're billing your clients at a pretty high rate. And so you can afford to hire an accountant, at a lower rate and have more time for you to bill your clients and make money and let them worry about the books. But that's very, very hard to do. And it's a real discipline to have to divorce you from what's going on, and the supportive and administration services. And you just got to let that go. But the hardest part, I think, for the whole thing was trying to get the clients to pay their invoices on time. Now, that is a keystone of the building of your business and all that. And I worked at it real hard because that was my job, and I think it took me about 2 years to learn the right wording and the right finesse and the right everything and the right pressure. But it worked out, and we finally developed a system that had our clients paying pretty much right on time. And that's the key success to a good financial strength. I really thought long and hard on what my best memories from Curley and Pynn was. And I keep going back to just walking through the office and seeing all these hardworking staff smiling and knowing that we gave them a career and that they're building their careers. And not only that, but they're also going out and getting married and building families, and all within the Curley and Pynn family. And that really is a heartwarming sight. But it also puts a big pressure on Roger and I to keep going, because these people are depending on us. It's just as we are depending on them, to be good employees. Oh, I do have a second good memory of Curley and Pynn, and that happened on my 50th birthday. And Roger decided to get clever, and he got these. He made some 6-foot wide $50 bills and put my picture in the center of it. And that wasn't bad. That wasn't enough of an embarrassment. He then hired a bunch of taxi cabs, to put them on the roof of the taxi cabs. And they all were driving around Orlando for the next week with my picture on this giant $50 bill on the top. So for me, that was a real embarrassing moment. For the staff, that was a riot of nothing but laughs and jokes. So I think it didn't kill me, so it made me stronger. When we first started the agency, I thought every employee that we hired had to be a strong A personality like I am, go, 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 you got to keep moving and all this. And I quickly found out that wasn't the truth. You needed a nice blend. You needed the quiet ones. You needed the deep thinkers. You needed the ones that were solving problems, using forward-looking thinking. And all that is what makes a blend of a PR team that works real well and has a little bit of all those qualities together. So I really learned quick that you didn't need a lot of Joes around. You needed a lot of Joes and Marys and Sues and Bobs and everybody else in order to make the team work. And that's the good blend that gives you the best thinking to help your clients. I think with an agency, you're doing all kinds of things, but my favorite part, I think, was when we concluded a huge event and it was wildly successful, not only to us, but to the client as well. You know, sometimes it's successful to us, but it's not so successful to the client for a lot of reasons. And that's the way PR is. But when they're happy and I'm happy, then that's the best feeling you can have. One of the other things I think with that about the agency is we had a very remarkable relationship with Universal Studios, and we still do. We have been together with Universal some 35 years, and that's unheard of. And I don't care the advertising or PR industries, you just don't have clients that long. That's usually quick turnover. 3 to 5 years is probably average on even your best client. So I feel real honored not only to have that client, but our whole team has been responsible for a lot of the things and elements and rides and shows and how Universal evolved and how it was built. And I think that's a great achievement for any PR firm. One of the things that I know led to the success of Curley and Pynn is that both PR staff and administrative staff marched to the 5 steps to professional success that are on display all around Curley and Pynn on the walls and on the desks. I know when I was there, Roger and I would make somebody at staff stand up and recite them without looking at the little plaque and everything to make sure we were there. And then when we finished a big project, we would ask the staff, which of those 5 elements played the biggest role in our success there? So we could now see how those elements worked into the success of the business. And I think that was very important. And keeping those there and marching to them is not only the philosophy and the heart and soul of the company, but it also set the cultural tone for the company. And I think that was a very, very important step. And it still is today, because I know Roger and I, even though I was gone, we added a 5th one to the 4 that were existing. And so it's still working. The industry for public relations, as well as other marketing firms, is changing all the time. We don't have enough time in this video to talk about why and where those changes are, but it's constantly evolving. And it's influenced by each generation's values and how they source their news and information. And I can tell you, with artificial intelligence now on the move and evolving into our businesses and all, it's going to change a whole lot more, and it's never going to stop. So that's something that, you know, is it's just timely, and it happens and it keeps going. And I think Curley and Pynn has evolved to that quite nicely over the last, what are you going to be 40 years now? My God, I can't believe it. What makes Curley and Pynn successful? Number one, staff. Good staff that aren't afraid to try new ideas and move out. But if I could put it in just one short sentence, it would be giving clients straight and factual counsel, whether it's good or bad, period.